my friend, welcome back to Money Mission number 9. Can you believe it? We're going to talk about direct response, or hopefully if there's at least a few Lord of the Ring fans out there. Remember the phrase, there's one ring to rule them all, okay? One ring. Well, we're not going to talk about a ring per se, but we're going to talk about one thing to rule them all when it comes to all types of marketing. What I want to do is give you a checklist, kind of a cheat sheet on something you can just quickly glance at when you're doing, before you launch any marketing, that's going to make all of it more effective, whether it's Facebook ads or direct mail or whatever. We're going to talk a little bit about Dan Kennedy and then get right into the checklist. And this is something you're probably going to want to like print off and put next to your desk. And it's just a cheat sheet just to help you trigger ideas and make sure you have the right ingredients in any of your marketing, right? Whether it's an email sequence or it's a direct mail campaign or a flyer or a postcard or a door hanger or almost anything, Facebook ads, digital marketing. I think it's important because it can get overwhelming wondering, like, am I doing it right? Did I forget something? I'm stressed out. My phone's ringing. My employee didn't show up. My dog puked on the carpet. I mean, life is chaos as a small business owner. So let's talk about that. So why do I have Dan Kennedy on here again? Well, just like all roads lead to Rome, all marketing roads lead back to this weird old guy, Dan Kennedy. And he was a direct response marketing guru. And he's launched so many people that have built gigantic companies really with direct response. And I want to briefly take a second and explain what direct response even means. Direct response is the type of advertising, the type of marketing where you are spending money to put a message into the world in the effort to get money to come right back to you with friends. It's when you need to spend $1 to make $3. You need to spend $1 to make $9, whatever it is for your business. You know, big companies like Coca-Cola, they spend a lot of money on branding. And branding is really important. I believe that all of us already have a personal brand, including you, even if you're not making content on social media. Your company already is a brand, but spending dollars and resources when you have a tiny bootstrapped local company on just branding is usually a horrible idea because you're not going to make it back fast enough. See, that's the super, super long tail. Direct response is you throw money out, you pull it back in with friends. And that's what we want to talk about here. I actually saw a billboard in Texas this week of an attorney, and it just had a picture of two people and the name of the law firm. That's all that was on it. And, you know, maybe they're just balling out, but probably they don't understand marketing very well because there was no specific offer. There's no differentiator. There was nothing. It was just like wasting money. You can't afford to do that. We want to focus on direct response. When you make a Facebook post, you want it to have a strategy to make money. If you send out a postcard, you want it to make you money right now so that it pays for itself plus extra. This is an example of a fun postcard I helped George make. George runs an HVAC company called Smooth Sailing, so shout out to George because he's awesome. And he had a postcard that was a little bit uglier than this one. It was typical, though, of what a normal small business postcard looks like. And on this postcard, he wanted to send it out to get more reviews from his customers. But there wasn't enough direct response ingredients in it. It was basically a plain white postcard that had like a huge paragraph of text. You know, over here at Smooth Sailing, we value you and thank you for your business, and customer service is so important to us, and it would really mean a lot to us if you could take a few minutes and leave us a review. And it's like this long run-on sentence. And the problem with that is that people won't notice it. It fatigues their eye. They just kind of throw it away. They're just too busy. They're selfish. They don't really care about you. I hate to break it to you. They're just busy, right? So we converted that simple card into these two yellow cards. The front of the card says, "I knew I liked you," with a weird picture of a goat. Why? Well, it's a pattern interrupt. And the sentence, "I knew I liked you," is all about them. It creates curiosity. And they're like, huh. So let me ask you a question watching this. What are the chances that someone that gets this card in the postcard in the mail, gets this postcard, when they see this, what are the chances they turn over to read the back of the card? Do you think it's 50% chance, 60% chance? How about 100% chance, 99.999% chance? Because the purpose of the front of the postcard is to get them to read the rest, right? So when they see this, it's going to bother them to not know, what in the world is this thing talking about? I knew I liked you. There's a goat. So they flip it over and it says, "Did you like us too?" And then it says, then leave a review, right? I made it rhyme a little bit to be cute with it. Here's the point, though, is that there's little ingredients we can add to all of our marketing messages that make them better. Like, are we pattern interrupting? Do we have a call to action, right? This card has actually been greatly simplified and the results amplified all at the same time. There's less words, but more people are going to actually leave a review because it's simple. It's clever. So let's talk about the direct response ingredients. You can screenshot this. You can download these notes. You can do whatever you want. But let's go through it. So the first one is timing. Are we sending your message at the right time? Timing is critically important. I'll give you 2 examples. Did you know that if you're a window cleaning company and your direct mailer hits on a rainy day, your conversions will be smushed. They'll get squashed. It's bad. You don't want that to happen. But what's weird is if you're a carpet cleaning company, your conversions go up if your mail hits on a rainy day. And the reason is because more people are tracking their wet shoes onto people's carpet and more phone calls are generated because of that. And so every industry and service has these weird nuances. There's certain seasonality with your revenue curve. There's high demand times of the year, low demand times of the year. So whatever kind of marketing you're doing, we want to ask ourselves, is it the right time? And if it's not, how do we flip it into being the perfect time? So if it's in the off season, we need to have a reason why right now is the perfect time. You know, the early bird special, the early bird gets the worm. There has to be a reason why, you know, the dead of winter savings program or something. And so if you're marketing when people don't want it, we still have to consider, is this the right time or how do I make it the right time? The next thing we consider is targeting. Not all customers are made equal. I'm sure you already have learned this the hard way, like I have and all of us have. But we want to make sure we're very picky on who we target. Sometimes, even when people pass out flyers, this is old school basic marketing 101. Very effective, by the way. You can build a multi-million-dollar business just doing that if you get really good at it. But they treat every neighborhood the same. You see, if you have 1,000 flyers and you want to get them out, the goal is not to get out 1,000 flyers. The goal is to get 1,000 flyers to the right person. You know, if a house looks abandoned, their lawn is overgrown, and there's 3 broken down cars in their driveway, maybe we save that flyer and don't give it to them. They might not want to buy home services if they don't take care of their home, right? Or maybe it's a vacation rental, and you can kind of tell, well, the owner's not even going to see the flyer, right? Possibly. So we want to make sure we're targeting the right people, the right time, the right targeting. Then we want to have a way to track it. Do you have a way to track it? It can be very simple, but if you zoom in on my notes here, you can have a Facebook pixel installed on your website. So if people are going to your website, we know who went there and we can retarget them with ads later. That's a way of tracking. You can use different phone numbers on different marketing methods. You can use services like CallRail, and there's different ones where you can generate a bunch of local numbers, and your postcards can use this phone number that forwards to your main line, and your yard signs use a different phone number that forwards to your main line. And it's a way to know how many calls all of your different things generated. Or you could use a special code. Maybe when they call for your postcard, they use a code, and that tells you, hey, this came from a postcard. But we want to have a way to track our results. We want to have a hook or a pattern interrupt. You know, to go back up to this silly card, this is a hook. This weird yellow ugly color with the goat in the phrase, all of that's a hook. It's a pattern interrupt. Does your marketing have that? It can be subtle. It can be simple, but we want a hook. And then, is there an opportunity to personalize it at all? Personalize can be many different things. You can do what are called call outs or dog whistles. And what that is maybe your flyer or whatever marketing you're doing says the name of the lake that you're targeting the lakefront homeowners of, or it says Smith's Creek subdivision on it. And so instead of having 1,000 flyers, we have 300 flyers for Smith's Creek specifically, because that one extra ingredient automatically bumps your conversion rates because it's a dog whistle, meaning, you know, only a dog can hear when you blow the whistle. Well, only the Smiths Creek resident will really notice, hey, that's talking about me, or that's talking about my street name, right? Or that's talking about my favorite football team. These are all dog whistles in marketing. It's a way to personalize it. You want to ask yourself, is there any urgency or scarcity? You know, why should they buy from you right now? You know, what are the reasons they should buy from you now? And what are the reasons they should buy from you instead of every other option, including doing nothing? These are what you want to be thinking about. And then we have multi-touch and multi-channel. Multi-touch meaning at least have 3 touches as part of your direct response campaign. If you were going to run an infomercial, at 2 a.m. trying to sell a spaghetti strainer, okay? And you're going to spend $100,000 on TV commercials at 2 a.m. Are you going to spend and do one infomercial, or are you going to buy a time block so that you can do it over and over and over and tweak it and iterate it and spit shine it, because it's going to convert more as you go, right? So when it comes to local business marketing, at least try to do 3 touches at least, right? So we want to target the right people at the right time with the right message, pattern interrupt. We're going to hit them 3 times, and now you can start to see how your conversions are going to go up. And then multi-channel means if you're doing a flyer, that's great. You can do the 3 flyers, but maybe we do the flyers plus we do the yard signs plus we drop a Facebook ad that geo-targets over them. Now we have 3 different channels targeting the same people. Want to make sure there's a call to action. People forget this. That billboard of the attorney, there's no call to action, right? All of your marketing, if it's direct response, if you want to make money back right now, we need a call to action. It can be simple as click here, call now, book today, scan this QR code. You know, the call to action on this example postcard is scan me, you know, leave a review. There's an arrow, right? It's like, do this. It's telling you, this is what I want you to do after reading this thing, right? We need that. We also want to have social proof if possible, and that could be something as simple as a Chamber of Commerce badge or a trust badge is what they call them. You know, you're a Angie's List Super Award winner or whatever that is, and all these things. But you can also use stories or photos or before and after pictures, or maybe if your marketing is sending them to your website, maybe you don't send them to the main part of the website, but to a special page on your website that has all your social proof on it, right? We want to ask ourselves, what is the offer? What is the actual offer? Is it a foot in the door offer? Is it compelling? Is it really hard to say no to? I mean, because you've done all this work, right? You've designed something, you've thought about the timing and the targeting, and you're going to do it multiple times, and you got a good hook, and you're being creative, and you're testing the boundaries and having fun with it. We can't forget an offer. What's the offer? Why should they give you money? And then, of course, design, and then last but not least, strategy. So have a clear, clean, simple design. And then, but most importantly probably, is have a strategy. So if you launch your marketing, whether it works or it doesn't work, what do we do next? What's the next step? Let's say we get a few calls. What do we do with them exactly? What's the script? What's the follow-up look like? How do we add value? How do we get our foot in the door again? How do we get them to buy again? How do we sell them the more expensive thing? It's not rocket science, but we want to actually write down what the plan is with these people. And then if you want extra credit as a bonus, it's always a good idea to add a logical justification to any marketing. You don't have to do it, but it helps with the effectiveness. I've talked about this in other money missions, and as we land the plane here, maybe you're overstaffed, so you have the overstaffed door-busting deal. You need to, you're giving free bonuses for people that rebook because of that reason. That's your logical reason for asking for more money. Or maybe you're overbooked, and so that's the reason. Or you're overstocked if you sell physical products. It could be that you're training new people and you need some test dummies or something. It could be the media release form, which I've mentioned in other money missions too. If they agree to let you use before and after pictures, then they get this, extra good deal on the package or whatever. And that could be a good logical justification for your offer. Or it could be the seasonality itself, because it's spring, because it's back to school, because Mother's Day is coming, because of something. But we want to have some reason why we're saying, please, sir, can I have some more porridge? Or please, ma'am, will you buy my stuff? And that's it. So treat this like a checklist. And here's the thing. You do not need to do all of these things, but the more of them you're doing, probably the better result you're going to get. Have fun with it. We'll see you in the next Money Mission.